Imagine a world where every sound you make could mean the end of your life. A world where creatures hunt by sound and silence is the only way to survive. Welcome to The Silence. 2019, a chilling survival thriller that takes you to the edge of terror. In today's video, we're diving deep into this intense film, directed by John R. Leonetti, where survival is not just about escaping the creatures, but also about finding a way to communicate in a world silenced by fear. But here's the twist you might not know. This film isn't just another A Quiet Place. While both movies deal with creatures that prey on sound, The Silence explores a very different set of challenges and unique dynamics within the family at the center of the chaos. We'll break down the plot, explore the performances, discuss the key themes, and take a closer look at what makes this movie stand out in the genre. But there are also hidden details and lesser-known facts about the film that will surprise you. So by the end of this video, you'll not only have a full understanding of the film's plot and characters, but you'll also learn about the powerful messages behind its eerie silence. Why should you keep watching till the end? Because we'll reveal some fascinating insights and provide a fresh perspective on a film that's often overlooked. Welcome to Movies Review. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more in-depth movie analyses like this one. Let's get started. In a world where silence is the key to survival, The Silence takes us into an apocalyptic scenario where deadly, blind creatures known as vesps hunt humans by sound. These creatures, with their sharp hearing and lightning-fast attacks, have wiped out much of humanity. The film begins with the chaos of this invasion, leaving only a few survivors who must adapt quickly to a new reality where even a whisper could be deadly. At the heart of the story is the family of four: Father Hugh, Mother Kelly, son Jude, and daughter Ali. The family is forced to flee their home, with no place to hide from the terrifying creatures. What makes the family's survival even more complicated is that Ali, the teenage daughter, is deaf. Her lack of hearing actually becomes a crucial advantage, as she can move around more quietly than most others. This dynamic creates a powerful bond between Ali and her family, as they rely on her unique skills to stay safe. As the family searches for a safe haven, they find themselves not only fighting against the vesps, but also encountering other human survivors who are just as dangerous. Some people, desperate for survival, resort to violent acts, proving that human fear can sometimes be as terrifying as the creatures themselves. The struggle to stay silent is an ongoing battle, as the family must find creative ways to communicate without drawing attention. The central conflict of the film is the family's race to find safety, but it's also about Ali's journey. She's not just fighting for survival, she's also discovering her own strength. As the movie progresses, Ali becomes more than just a survivor. She's a leader, guiding her family through impossible situations. This plot sets the stage for a thrilling, emotional ride that keeps the audience on edge, wondering if the family can truly escape the terrifying world they now live in. One of the standout elements of The Silence is its powerful cast. Stanley Tucci plays Hugh, the protective father who will do anything to keep his family safe. Tucci brings depth to his character, portraying a man who's both strong and vulnerable, caught in the impossible task of leading his family through a terrifying world. His performance anchors the film's emotional core, showing the balance of fear and determination. Kiernan Shipka plays Ali, and her portrayal is the emotional center of the movie. Ali is not only navigating the dangers of this new world, but also struggling with the concept of living in a world that's constantly silent. Shipka skillfully conveys the character's emotional range, from fear and confusion to empowerment and resilience. She's not just a helpless teenager, she's an integral part of her family's survival, using her deafness to their advantage. Shipka's performance helps highlight how Ali's disability is actually a source of strength, showing a new perspective on how people with disabilities can thrive in situations that others might find impossible. Miranda Otto plays Kelly, the mother, who is fierce in her love and protection of her family. Otto brings warmth and strength to the role, showing the deep emotional struggle of a mother trying to protect her children in a world turned upside down. The relationship between Kelly and Ali is particularly moving, as the mother's love for her daughter transcends the silence surrounding them. The dynamics within the family are essential to the film's success. While Hugh and Kelly are constantly looking out for their children's safety, Ali's role as a guide and protector becomes more significant as the film progresses. The family's bond is tested not only by the creatures outside, but by the emotional strain they all experience in trying to survive. The performances of the lead cast allow the audience to connect with the family on a deep, personal level, making their journey even more intense and emotional. The Silence is more than just a survival thriller. It's a deep exploration of human resilience, fear, and communication. At its core, the film is about survival, but not just surviving the creatures. It's about surviving as a family, surviving in a world that has completely changed, and finding ways to adapt to an environment that's full of danger and uncertainty. One of the key themes is the importance of communication. In a world where sound can be deadly, the characters must rely on non-verbal communication. Ali, being deaf, has an advantage in this new world. But for the rest of her family, learning how to communicate without sound becomes crucial. This theme is deeply explored through Ali's character, as she moves through the film not as a victim, but as a powerful communicator in her own right. The film subtly highlights how communication isn't just about words, it's about connection, empathy, and understanding. In a world where sound could end your life, silence becomes the ultimate form of survival, and communication becomes the tool to navigate the chaos. Another theme that The Silence touches on is the fear of the unknown. The Vesps, with their deadly speed and hearing, represent an unstoppable force. The family's journey is fraught with fear, not only from the creatures, but also from the unknown dangers lurking in the human survivors they meet along the way. The film does a brilliant job of showing how fear can drive people to do terrible things, and how, in the end, the true danger is often not the monsters outside, but the darkness inside people themselves. John R. Leonetti's direction is one of the key elements that makes The Silence so compelling. From the very first scene, Leonetti immerses the audience in a world where every sound feels like a threat. He builds tension masterfully, using silence not just as a narrative tool, but as a way to heighten the film's suspense. The quietness of the world becomes palpable, and the silence itself feels almost suffocating, making every small noise carry immense weight. The cinematography is also a standout. The film uses a muted color palette, often with shades of gray and desaturated tones, which perfectly complements the bleakness of the world. The shots are often wide and open, emphasizing the emptiness and isolation the family feels. The camera frequently lingers on close-ups of the characters, focusing on their expressions of fear, determination, and loss. This visual style draws the audience closer to the emotional struggles of the family, making their fight for survival even more gripping. In terms of sound design, The Silence is a masterclass in how to create tension without relying on traditional sound effects. The sound, or lack thereof, plays a crucial role in shaping the audience's experience. Every creak, rustle, or soft breath is amplified, reminding us how precarious the family's situation is. The silence itself becomes one of the most terrifying aspects of the film, and the moments when sound does intrude feel even more jarring. At first glance, The Silence might seem like just another entry into the sound-based horror genre, alongside films like A Quiet Place. Both movies share the premise of creatures that hunt by sound, and both films revolve around families trying to survive in this silent, deadly world. However, while A Quiet Place focuses heavily on the emotional bond between family members and the pure survival instinct, The Silence introduces a more nuanced exploration of how non-verbal communication can be a powerful tool in a world that has lost the ability to speak. Where A Quiet Place builds much of its tension around the threat of the creatures, The Silence places a lot of focus on the internal dynamics of the family. The Silence dives deeper into the emotional toll the world has on its characters, particularly Ali. The film explores how silence can become not just a survival mechanism, but a way of life, especially for those who are used to communicating without words. One of the biggest strengths of The Silence is its unique premise. The idea of a world where silence is the only thing keeping people alive is both terrifying and fascinating. The film does a great job of exploring how silence and communication can become a matter of life and death. The performances, especially from Kiernan Shipka as Ali, bring emotional depth to the film, allowing the audience to connect with the characters on a human level. The sound design and cinematography also stand out as crucial elements that elevate the film. The way the film uses silence to create tension is remarkable, and the sound design is both subtle and impactful. The film's ability to keep the audience on edge without relying on typical horror tropes is impressive. Despite its strengths, The Silence does have its flaws. The plot at times can feel predictable, especially if you're familiar with other survival thrillers in the genre. Some of the character development feels underexplored, particularly with the supporting characters. While the main family is well developed, some of the other survivors the family encounters could have been given more depth, making the world feel even more rich and dynamic. Additionally, the pacing at certain points can drag, and there are moments where the tension isn't built as effectively as it could have been. The film could have spent more time fleshing out the stakes and the true threat of the Vesps, making their presence feel even more menacing. To wrap up, The Silence is a tense, atmospheric survival thriller that keeps you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. The film's unique take on the sound-based horror genre, combined with its strong performances, especially from Kiernan Shipka, and the nail-biting sound design, creates a chilling experience for the viewer. While it may have its flaws, such as a predictable plot and underdeveloped supporting characters, it still delivers a powerful exploration of survival, fear, and the power of non-verbal communication in a post-apocalyptic world. If you're a fan of survival thrillers or suspenseful films that play with sound and silence, this movie is definitely worth a watch. The emotional depth of the family dynamics, paired with the high-stakes tension throughout, makes it an engaging experience for anyone who enjoys films where every moment counts. While it may not reach the heights of films like A Quiet Place, it holds its own with its unique twist and eerie atmosphere. I'd give this film a solid 7 out of 10. It's an intense, thought-provoking ride that's not without its faults, but still packs a punch in terms of suspense and emotional engagement. If you enjoyed this review, please hit the like button and subscribe to Movies Review for more movie breakdowns and in-depth analyses. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss out on our latest reviews. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.